Hi, this is James Gordon of October Library here with a appreciation video. Today is Stephen King's 74th birthday. Happy birthday, Stephen King. In today's video, I will be going over the Stephen King books I own, the ones I read, the ones I've liked, and the ones I haven't read yet. And as I've said after my Rage review, I will definitely be doing some more Stephen King book reviews. With Halloween coming up, I'm already thinking reading two of my favorites, Christine and Misery, and some other ones for Halloween, along with some other horror books. But anyway, without further ado, let's begin with the video. The first book by Stephen King, Carrie. This first came out in 1974, which was later turned to the hit horror film of the same name in 76, directed by Brian De Palma. A really good film. And let's see, this edition is by Stignet, and this edition is this one's from 1975. I have yet to read this novel, but I definitely plan on reading Carrie. Okay, next. It's a collection. The Night Shift. This is also by Stignet, and this was first published in, this one's 1979, although this was, I believe, first published in 78, I believe. This has the short stories Jerusalem's Lot, which later became a follow-up to Salem's Lot, Graveyard Shift, Night Surf, I Am the Doorway, The Mangler, The Boogeyman, Gray Matter, Battleground. That was a really good story about toys, toy soldiers fighting against this hidden band. Trucks, which is a good story, which became the film Maximum Overdrive. Sometimes They Come Back. Strawberry Spring, The Ledge, The Lawnmower Man, Quiz Corporation, my least favorite story. I Know What You Need, Children of the Corn, another good story which was made into, again, another good film. The Last Rug on the Ladder, The Man Who Loved Flowers, One for the Road, and Woman in the Room. Some of these stories I've never, some of them don't. I'll have to reread these again. But there's that. Okay, next. Cujo. This is also by Stignet. This is an okay edition, but I'd like to get a nice original paperback from the 80s of this book. This was Stignet, and this was first published in 1982. Let's see, what's this edition from? I think it says 82, cover 81. No. Say. Doesn't say, but this is a new edition. This is a good book, but I prefer the film over the book. It has a much better ending than the novel does. Still a good book. I'll have to read this one again. Okay, next. Pet Cemetery. This is a nice cover. Unfortunately, my edition, as you can see, is very worn. It's a little beat up. I would definitely like to get one that's in much better condition than this one. I actually saw a copy of this book in the Valley Village, but it was in much rougher shape than this book, so I plan on reading this one as I'm wearing the shirt of the film of the same name I saw, which I like the film of. I never saw the remake, but I don't plan on to. I heard it wasn't that good. Okay, anyway, this is by Stignet, and this was first printed in 1984. I enjoyed the film. I heard the book is really good, so I definitely plan on checking the book out. This one's basically about a cemetery that brings dead animals back to life, basically. And the father, the main character, loses his son in an accident, so he brings his son back, and basically a whole bunch of hell breaks loose. So looking forward to checking this book out. Okay, next. The Dark Tower. This is the first book in the Dark Tower series. I only have the first book, The Gunslinger, and I own two editions of this. First is the paperback. And this was by Stignet in, excuse me, this is from 1982. I read that the Dark Tower was originally published in the Omagia magazine, I think it's called, and the original stories were published in there. I would love to get those magazines to read the original Dark Tower, because Stephen King wrote the Dark Tower in like a different way, and a lot of people had a hard time understanding, so he rewrote it into a paperback and to make it more easier for people to read. So I heard a lot of good things about this book. Definitely look forward to checking it out. And this is the other edition I own, which has illustrations. I'll just show so he's got illustration, and then it's got some color images too. I'll just show one because I don't want to spend all day showing the different illustrations. Here we go. I'll just show this one. Just show this one right there. Get the light. So I definitely look forward to checking this out. Okay, another book that I really like, and is also actually one of my favorites, Cycle of the Werewolf. This is written by Stephen King and illustrated by Bernie Winton. Really good artist. It's a shame he passed away. This is by Stingnet, and this was from 1985. Oh, okay. I thought this was a little. I thought Cycle of the Werewolf came out in 83 or 82, one of those years. But anyway, I'll have to definitely get one in better condition. This one's a little rough, but this is basically about a werewolf that terrorizes a town, like all the months, and I'll just show like one of the images. I'm not going to go through all of it, but yeah, it's a really cool image there. Definitely plan on reading this book again. Okay, now my favorite Stephen King book, Christine. This is actually the first horror movie I saw when I was like 12 years old, and it blew my mind. Just this killer car killing people I just loved, and then just became fascinated with horror and finding more stuff by Stephen King. And here's a picture of the set offer on his Plymouth Fury. It's a hardcover edition, and so got this in finished shape. This is by Viking, and this was published '83. And I read this book. I enjoy both book and film. They're both good. I definitely plan on reading this for the upcoming Halloween. So that is the hardcover edition, and this is a newer paperback edition, which I kept because the cover is, it's decent. Actually, I had a newer edition by Stigma, and it was just a really lame cover. It was just a car with like in the dark with its headlights turned on, and the title Christine. It's like, come on, put a little more effort into the cover, but this is a little better. Okay, let's see. This is by Pocket Books, and this edition is 2016. So I kept this one because it's a lot better than that like 2000s or late 90s Stigma edition of Christine. But right, okay, next, It. This is a very big, beefy book. I got this book when I was in Fort Lauderdale on vacation last year, and I have not read this one yet, but I plan on to. I actually got the two new It movies, which came together, so I heard a lot of good things about it. It looked a lot better than the 90s TV movie, which is kind of corny. This is by Scribber? I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that publisher name right. Let's see. It was originally published in 1986. This edition is 2017. This is kind of like a horror epic about kids battling this alien, which they call It. It can basically shape-shift into different things, and then they defeat it when they're like young, like kind of like teenagers, and then a few years later they have to fight again as adults. So, heard a lot of good things about this book. I definitely look forward to checking this book out. Hopefully, it's good. Okay. Next favorite book by Stephen King, Misery. This was actually the first King book I read in like years after being disappointed with his later stuff, which I'll talk about at the end of this video. But this is like the first book I read of him for a while, and this was a really good book. And I really miss the old days of Stephen King books. But anyway, I really like that coverage. Really sinister. You got the guy in the wheelchair, and you got the person with the axe in the background. And look, it's King on the back again. I actually saw a paperback edition, which actually has a little kind of like joke where basically the main character in this book, Paul Sheldon, he writes like romance novels and stuff, and there's like he does this new book like Misery's like something Misery, and for the joke basically has a painting of like this romance card, and it's got Stephen King's head on it just as the main character. It's funny, but I would have gone in that paperback if it was in much better condition. It was very rough, so keep my eyes open for a good one. But anyway, this is from Viking, and this was what was this published in? 87. This was 87. Originally, this was going to be under his pseudonym, Richard Bachman, and Misery is going to actually be a lot darker because in the original ending, Annie Wilkes kills the author after he completes Misery's Return and basically bounds the book in his skin, which would have been a really dark ending. But after it got out that Richard Bachman was Stephen King, he decided to change the ending to a more happier ending, which I do prefer. But that dark ending, if he did go with the original dark ending, it would have been like, whoa, didn't see that coming. But anyway, definitely plan on reading this book again. Okay, next. In our collection, Skeleton Crew. This was given to me by a person years ago that I'm no longer friends with. But anyway, doesn't matter. This is by Stignet, and this was published in... where's the publication for this? So this, I'm going to say a... Oh, here we go. I'm looking at the wrong page. First published June 86. And what stories do we have in this collection? The Mist. I saw that movie and getting pissed me off. After I saw that ending, I never wanted to see that movie again. I hated it. But I'll definitely read the short story because it has a much better ending than the film. Here there be Tigers, the Monkey, Team Up the Rose, Mrs. Todd Shortcut, Janet, the Wedding Gig, Paranoid, a Chant, the Raft. I heard that's a good one. The Will Professor of the Gods, the Man Who Would Not Shake Hands. Also, that's another good one. Beach World, the Reaper's Image, Noah, the For Omens, Survival Type, Uncle Otto's Truck, Morning Deliveries, Milkman 1, Big Wheels, A Tale of the Laundry Game, Milkman 2, Granny, The Ballad of Flexible Bullet, The Reach. I have yet to read this one, but I will definitely plan on reading this collection. Some of the stories I heard are really good, and the other ones I don't know they're about. Okay, next book, I showed this in my when I did my rate review of the Bachman books, which has all 4 of Stephen King's Bachman novels. I would still like to get the 4 original paperbacks to the Bachman books just to add in my collection. This is by Stedman, and this is from 86, I believe. 86. 86, right? Yeah, 86 or 85, whatever year this came out in. But I definitely like to read the other books on here, The Long Walk, and my 2 favorites, Roadwork and The Running Man, which are 2 of my favorites. I definitely like to read those again. I both enjoy those ones. Okay, and here's another hardcover, Needful Things. I've heard a lot of good things. I heard this is like, it's like horror, but it's got some funny parts in it, so look forward to reading this book. Okay, this one's by Viking, and I didn't know it had an illustration in it. I think this is like an early 90s King book, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, this has got a little illustration there. Here we go. All right, first published 1991. From what I heard, this one's about basically a store opens in this small town, and basically the guy who owns it sells people certain things, and then he makes them do things if they want to really get the needful things that they want. And the store is supposed to be the devil, so I'll read this book and see what I think of it. Okay, another collection. Nightmares and Dreamscapes. My father gave me this book years ago. Nice cover. And I remember the TV series Nightmares and Dreamscapes, and they actually put the Battleground one, which was from Night Shift, and that was still good. It was really neat they did that one. This is from this is from Viking, and this is first published in 93, I'm going to say. 93. All right, what do we got here? Dawn's Cadillac, The End of the Whole Mess, Suffer, The Little Children, The Night Flyer. I remember my dad talking about this story about a vampire that uses a plane. Popsy, It Grows on You, Chatterteeth, Incantation, The Moving Finger, Sneakers, You Know They Got a Hell of a Band, Home Delivery, Rainy Season, My Pretty Pony, Sorry Red Number, 10 O'Clock People, Crouch End, The House on Maple Street, The Fifth Quarter, The Doctor's Case, Oma's Last Case, Head Down, Brooklyn, August. I remember some of the stories in the TV series and some of them I don't, so I'll have to read this one. Okay, and the last two good Stephen King books I read before I stopped reading anything else by him from Buick 8. This is the hardcover edition, and before I had the paperback edition, but it was falling apart, so I switched for this, which I prefer. Let's see. This is by a different publisher, Scriber? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. This came out, when did this come out? 2002, 2000, what does it say for copyright? 2002, I'm going to say, or 3, I can't remember, but this one's basically about, there's this old Buick, and it's in the garage, and basically it's like it has some sort of like power to it, where basically things come out of it, and basically the main characters, they do a bunch of like experiments on it and stuff. It was kind of a weird book, but it was still interesting. So hardcover edition of that. And the last book I read by King, in my opinion, his last good one, Cell. Again, I had the paperback edition, and I always wanted this edition because it had such a cool cover. I finally got it. Sure, this is not okay. Well, I actually one time had a paperback of this edition, but I didn't look at the print size. I didn't realize that large print would be a thing. Well, I didn't know that they sold books in large print. So basically, I bought Cell, and it's like in large print. The words are like way too big, and it's like even thicker. So once I got this edition, I that large print edition, because my site might be bad, but it's not that bad. All right, Scribber, and this was from 2006. This is basically about This is basically about some cell phones and technology begin turning people into like mindless like zombies and stuff, and basically the main character is trying to save his son as the world's going insane. This, as I said, this was the last good book by King that I read, and everything else I have tried by him I have not liked. So definitely look forward to reading that one again. And the last book I got by King, Road Rage. This actually has a short story that him and his son Joel Hill wrote together, and it's got an illustration of Duel by Richard Matheson. And this was really interesting. Duel was an excellent short story. I got the short story and the film Steven Spielberg made, which was a really good film. The Road Rage one. Oh, sorry. No, hold on. What's the story called? It's not called Road Rage. Fraudo. That one's about basically a biker gang is being hunted down by this semi truck, and they're trying to basically out with the driver and basically figure out why this truck driver is attacking him. It was a really good story. I'll have to read this one again. Okay. All right, that is it for the Stephen King video. As I said, I haven't read anything new by King lately. I'm just not really impressed with his newer works. As a writer, you know, you have a right to try other things besides doing one theme all the time, because after a while it does get boring. But come on, when you do some other things, make it interesting and compelling to read, not boring and just like not putting any full effort into it. Yeah, it's just lately King hasn't written any new King's new books. I haven't really been interested in, as I tried. First I tried what was it, Under the Dome, and I thought that sounded interesting, but after reading like 575 pages, I just gave up on it because I was just tired of reading people doing stupid things while this dome was placed over them. And I was like reading this book thinking, can't someone just dig a hole under the dome to get out, or go through the sewer system to get out of the town? Like, do you really? Come on, if I was a character, that's the first thing that would come to mind if there was something placed over a dome here. And then the other book, 11/20/63, I thought it was just the most pointless book ever written because, spoiler alert, if anyone has read it, but I think this is just the worst book that he's written, in my opinion. What is the point of basically writing a story of a character that's going to go back in time to change course of history, but then is told he can't change course of history, and if he leaves it, things get worse, and he has to go back and undo everything he just did. What is the point of that? If you're just going to waste, a person's time by having them read through this entire story, and then to get to the very end, it's like, oh, all that hard work I did, I just have to go back and undo it. Terrible. And what else? Oh, yeah, that crime series, Miss Mercedes. I'm not interested in that. And then there are some other people saying, oh, you should check out this other book he did, The Reveal. See how good it was. I looked it up and I thought, this is terrible. This isn't good at all. It's not scary, and it's just not good. So unfortunately, King hasn't written anything lately that I would want to read. But at least I have all these other books here, so I definitely have some of his older work, which I prefer to read. All right, stop rambling. That is it for this video today. I hope you enjoyed it. Please like it, share it, subscribe, and don't forget to subscribe to October Library and the YouTube channel and the Facebook group of the same name, a place you can push and review fiction. Until then, I'll catch you later.